generations. While most families prepare their children for acceptance into college or universities, new parents have needed to prepare their kids much earlier for acceptance into preschool. It is understandable why parents are now pushing for their children to receive the best possible education in their early childhood years, as 90% of the brain develops before kindergarten. An excellent early childhood education may kickstart a life of academic and social success. But many parents may ask, what is the best education for my children? The variety of different philosophies and methods of teaching young children range endlessly. However, choosing the type of education that your child will experience can be one of the most important decisions of their young lives. So it's important to choose the right one for them. A child's developmental period is most active in early childhood, before elementary school. The tools which preschools provide their students with not only sets them up for elementary school, but also for their neurological development, setting them up for their entire lifetime. During these early years, the brain is especially sensitive to environmental enrichment. Early experiences in children's homes, in other care settings, and in their communities interact with their genes to shape their brains. Their neuronal system undergoes very rapid growth and then pruning based on environmental inputs, such as activities, language, and other people's responsiveness. Environmentally influenced brain development supports a range of early skills, including cognitive skills, social skills, self-regulation, and executive function skills. These skills are extremely important for everyday life, and the ability to better them at a young age is an easy way to make a lasting impact in your child's life. Unfortunately, many traditional school settings do not properly teach children to control these emotions, leading to continued distress. A reason for the children's distress and struggles has been proven as the difference in vocabulary and intelligence level between children, especially in the ages 3 or younger. Preschool and programs to improve this can be extremely beneficial in helping all children develop well, which leads to the Montessori method, a method which's main focus is based on the needs of the child. Unfortunately, this education style is not vastly available in all regions of the world. The Montessori method was created by Maria Montessori over 100 years ago and is a drastic change from the typical learning environment of the time. Because of the Industrial Revolution, schools are often set up to prepare a child for a lifetime of production lines and standard environments. The schools reflected this with desks in straight lines and strict rules, which contributed to learning struggles in children. Maria Montessori challenged this simply by creating what she termed the prepared environment, a classroom and a way of learning that is not designed to support the child's intellectual, physical, and emotional and social development through active exploration, choice, and independent learning. Maria valued what was best for the children, not what was best for the economy. The classroom reflected this by creating a space where children had access to materials they would need to grow and develop as an individual. This meant more freedom and the ability to choose exactly how and what the child would learn. It also meant no competition set up between children and no system of eccentric rewards or punishments. These two aspects, the learning materials themselves and the nature of the learning, all led to a different and more child-oriented schooling environment. While Montessori does focus on the child's preferred learning style, it may not be the best option for as previously stated, the standard style of education at Maria Montessori's time was a mirror of the Industrial Revolution and wartime needs. In response to the war, the country and the Netherlands decided to focus their education on the basis that it would help to create morally good children, unlike the rest of the world. This helped lead Maria Montessori to her creation of the Montessori education style. It eventually spread globally, but remains extremely popular in the Netherlands to this day. Why has it not become as popular in the United States as the Netherlands, in a country that prides itself on their modernization and technological advances, especially in highly populated regions such as New York? It is peculiar to why the education style created for children is not beneficially, for a child's benefit, is not widely used. The ability for a child to learn at their own pace, which will aid their development greatly, is an important aspect in societal development. The question remains as to why has New York, an industrialized and popular modern technological region, not favored Montessori education to the same extent as the Netherlands has, as seen in the amount of schools concentrated in each area. In order to collect data to find an answer to the question, 8 schools were picked based on the location of each school, the program age level offered, and the presence of an easy access website. The words Montessori Preschool and Montessori Preschool New York were typed into Google Maps in order to locate early childhood education locations which follow the Montessori method. Each school that popped up was visited virtually, and depending on the organization of the website, the school was selected as a possible variable. The next factor in deciding which school to study was if the curriculum of the school was posted online. Some schools specifically displayed curriculum for certain age groups, which varied from each other. The last variable in choosing which schools would be evaluated was the location of the school. Schools in various places were chosen instead of in one specific area. In the Netherlands, schools in both big cities and smaller towns were chosen, and in New York, schools in both Long Island and in the 5 boroughs of New York City, and in the different boroughs of New York City were chosen. 4 were chosen from each area, leading to a total of 8 schools used in this study. The reason for choosing schools that were not secluded to a smaller area, instead choosing schools ranging from large cities to small cities and towns, was to get a wider range of school. This was done in hope of getting a diverse and hopefully more accurate result. The content analysis was done by comparing the similarities between Maria Montessori's key areas in Montessori education to the areas covered in the preschool's curriculum and the amount of depth each website goes into in the areas of the Montessori method. These areas are the practical life area, the sensorial, language, mathematics, and cultural areas. In order to analyze the content, the first step was to define the units and categories of analysis. At this time, the decision to evaluate the 5 key areas of Montessori education curriculum was decided. The second step was to develop a set of rules for coding. At this time, the decision to only evaluate the information on each school's website, about each school's curriculum that was available directly on the website was decided. The third step was to code the content according to the rules. At this time, each website's information listed directly on the website was put into a chart using the online form Google Sheets, alongside the corresponding area of the Montessori curriculum, which helped to determine the areas of Montessori education each school taught. The fourth step was to analyze the data and to form conclusions. At this time, the chart was evaluated and another chart was created, which included the amount of areas each school included in their curriculum, which allowed the determination of which schools followed which Montessori methods more carefully. Based on the research method steps, early childhood Montessori education programs were sought out, analysis was conducted, and content was recorded. Some more information about these 5 areas. The practical life is a key part of children's development and introduction into a productive society. Examples of practical life activities include hanging out coats, baking, cleaning, or sitting the table. Any activity that will help aid a child in a smoother transition into society can be included in this section. The sensorial part of the curriculum introduces children to different textures and motor skills. Examples of sensorial activities include water play, experimenting with smell, and experimenting with taste. Any activity that depends on a child's 5 senses can be included in the sensorial activity area. The language area of Montessori curriculum works on a child's reading, speech, and comprehension skills. Examples of language activities include reading books, speech therapy, social interactions, and pretend play. The mathematics area of Montessori education introduces children to the base information that is needed to thrive in primary school. Examples of mathematic activities include any arithmetic, geometric, or problem-solving skills. The final area of the five Montessori methods, or the five key areas of Montessori, is the cultural area. The cultural area of Montessori curriculum introduces children to the world around them. Examples of cultural curriculum include music, food, and discussion of the location with the child. This can include exploring the city around them or taking hikes in the countryside. These 5 factors were chosen because Montessori schools tend to attempt to mirror their curriculum from these areas. The 5 key areas are the most important and common areas of Montessori education as decided by Maria Montessori. This data was needed to answer the question because these factors are the most essential areas to Montessori education curriculum. After completing the content analysis by deciding what information would be used for the analysis and analyzing this information, I moved on to deciding the rules of the information I found. Scratch that. I'm doing homework, don't talk. The biggest limitation faced was the language barrier. The Netherlands' most abundant language is Dutch, and many of the Montessori schools' websites were in Dutch. Translating these websites was ruled out as an option in fear of mistranslations and therefore misunderstandings. This limited the options of websites used to websites already translated into English. Another limitation is the trustworthiness of each school's website. While the websites may list different parts of the curriculum, it is hard to know how often these parts are actually used as a way of teaching, or if they are even used at all. Many of the Netherlands schools also had a link to a PDF file titled School Guide. These school guides were not used due to the lack of presence on New York websites. It would be difficult to determine equivalence if there was a complete lack of information on one type of website. These limitations must be noted when analyzing the data to prove that it is not a perfect representation of the schools and their differences. Results. The data collected showed that the first New York school followed a curriculum including all 5 areas of Maria Montessori's philosophy, as did the second and third New York school. The third New York school did not have a separate area of curriculum for the practical life curriculum, but instead integrated parts of said curriculum into other areas, while the fourth New York school only followed 4 of the areas and did not include the sensorial area in the curriculum. The Netherlands schools lacked at least one of the 5 main areas of curriculum in Maria Montessori's philosophy. The first Netherlands school had all 5 areas but the mathematics area. The second Montessori school did not include a language area in the curriculum, but had the other 4 areas. The third Netherlands school had all 5 areas but the mathematics area of the curriculum, which was similar to the first Netherlands school. The fourth and final Netherlands school only included 2 of the 5 main areas of Montessori curriculum. The only areas mentioned were the language and cultural areas of the curriculum. Due to the information discovered on each of the 8 websites, the 4 from New York and the 4 from the Netherlands, it was found that the schools in New York aligned closer to Maria Montessori's website than the schools in the Netherlands. The alignment proved that there was no correlation between the close mirroring of Maria Montessori's philosophy and concentration of early childhood Montessori education programs and schools in an area. We're excited. An oral defense.